Veterans Advocacy. What does it mean to me? Over many years of hearing the word advocacy, one picture in particular burns in my memory. We have all seen the images of abandoned and abused pets, broadcast time and time again in commercials, asking us to donate to the ASPCA to help these poor animals. The scared dogs and cats that are in such poor health that you can't help but feel their pain. 26 years later, we are still witnessing the same commercials. I feel the same attention, at least, should be owed to our veterans. I have witnessed countless patients at the Veterans Administration hospitals and care clinics with the same look in their eyes as those abandoned animals in the commercials. Having spent hours visiting with many of these veterans, I have found many of them admitting to being homeless, living in their cars, and visiting hospitals looking for the care or help that they were promised and never receiving it. Advocacy is giving veterans a voice to express their views and concerns, assisting veterans with vital information, finding access to health care and a roof over their heads, defending veterans' rights and promoting their well-being to the entities responsible for their care and safekeeping. The history and purpose of the Department of Veterans Affairs, as stated by Abraham Lincoln's promise to veterans, was to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan. The modern written mission statement outlines the promise of care for the veterans. However, there has been a failure by the Department of Veterans Affairs to act on these promises. The statistics of the number of veterans directly and indirectly that are negatively affected is over 18 million. The acronym I CARE is meant to present a dedicated system of veteran care. I for integrity. C, commitment. A, advocacy. R, respect. E, excellence. Since the inception of the Department of Veterans Affairs, there has predominantly existed a systemic failure to perform the communication and basic ethical behavior promised to veterans. Testimonies at Senate hearings have revealed gross negligence resulting in the deliberate, out-of-control patient-veteran abuse by the hands of the Department of Veterans Affairs and their employees. Let me ask you, does gross negligence, deliberate abuse, and out-of-control behavior demonstrate that the Department of Veterans Affairs is committed to their I CARE promises? The answer is undeniably no. I have nearly 3 decades of personal interaction with the Department of Veterans Affairs in both patient care and administrative actions. More often than not, I have found it is apathy and ignorance that hijacks the quality care for our veterans. Apathy is apparent in the VA employee attitude and is driven by outdated and vague hospital and clinical care directives. Ignorance has become the ready and willing companion to apathy in the actions displayed throughout the facilities nationwide. Improper and abusive care has become the normal function of a bureaucracy shielding employees from accountability and ethical behavior. For decades, several groups have stepped up to help in these areas of concern, but ultimately have not made a dent in the problem. Some organizations like Disabled American Veterans, Veterans of Foreign Wars, American Legion, while having a huge presence, fall short of any accountability target needed to actually promote changing and helping measures for today's veterans. We cannot continue to accept a failing system simply because a government entity says it's doing all it can. I have banded together with a few other dedicated parties to bring desired positive changes forward. We have been planning and reporting with Voice of the Vet about current issues and concerns, with measured abilities to cure wrongs in the system, while encompassing veterans and lawmakers' stories through podcasts as frequently as we can film, edit, and post them to the National Archives. We've also been assisting in community planning with the Armed Forces Chamber of Commerce, in helping local veteran-owned businesses to network and prosper their way into the future, and launching a new advocacy division in 2020 to educate the community, government, and veterans towards a sustainable, positive future.